And finally, in today's episode, we have new data coming out from hotel financials relating to the World Cup. It shows that Seattle, on average, actually sold fewer rooms during the World Cup this June and July than they did the same time last year. And my colleague Randy Diamond has an article up on our Center Square Washington page with a lot more information on this. I think he is the first to be reporting on some of these numbers. Turns out that occupancy during the games averaged between 60 and about 85%. That's down 7% for the month of June and 5.7% for the month of July compared to last year. But what hotel operators did was jack their rates up to make up for that a bit surrounding the World Cup because of course you got people coming in, some of them last minute bookings when they, just decided to book one of the 6 games in Seattle, and so they were able to jack those rates up and still, make some money for those games. Now, you may recall that Seattle hotel operators were initially promised by FIFA, you know, a couple years ago, you better, block out these rooms. You're going to need to have every available room during the games, leading up to and after. And so that's what they did. They blocked out, you know, certain percentages. And then as the games were nearing in those, like a month or so before, they were going, nobody's booked. We've still got all these empty hotel rooms. Well, the problem with that being normally June and July are really busy bookings for Seattle hotels for conventions, conferences coming into town. But they turned those people down and said, we can't accommodate you this year because we need to save these rooms for FIFA. Well, then when the World Cup games weren't coming, it was too late to lure back those folks that wanted to book for the conventions and the big conferences that they normally get. So that was kind of the bummer for them because at that point it was too late to get those people back. So I found that to be pretty interesting. There were certainly benefits, and we're going to be getting more of those numbers in the weeks and months to come. And everybody that I talked to when I was there for the last Seattle match, which was a week ago Monday, everybody from out of town that I spoke to was pretty much raving about the city. I didn't see a lot of the homeless. We know they were kind of moved out of the Pioneer Square Stadium district so as not to be a blight on the city. We'll see if they end up moving back in. But pretty much everybody I talked to was loving the city, and that was good. I hope those people come back. But John Scholes, who is the executive director of the Seattle Downtown Association, spoke with my colleague Randy Diamond, and he said overall, World Cup was a big positive for the city.
We've been intentional about having a walkable downtown, intentional about creating a great waterfront, not rebuilding a highway, intentional about great transit, about having a stadium close to our downtown. And, all of those decisions, investments, paid off and creating a really tremendous experience. And not just for people that had tickets to get inside Lumen Stadium or folks that have never been here that were visiting from other places, but I think a great experience for locals and a reminder of just, how much locals value downtown and want to take part in experiences here that they can't get in their own neighborhood. I mean, we all could have just stayed at home and watched all these matches on TV by ourselves or with a couple of friends, but people wanted to be in the middle of it all with lots of other people. They wanted to be where the vibes were, and that is in the core of their city. And so it's a big validation of all the things that we're working on today and have been working on for many, many decades.
So more than 3 million people visited the downtown Seattle area across those 6 World Cup match days that were hosted here. As I mentioned, I'm sure we're going to get more data in the weeks and months to come on some of the wins, some of the losses, some of the takeaways. And again, hopefully those people that visited, the ones I spoke to from Arizona, New Jersey, Texas, New York, just the ones that I was visiting with when I was downtown, all had wonderful things to say about the city. Everybody loved the waterfront, the views over at the Olympic Mountains, and it's a world class city for sure. So hopefully those people will come back, and spend some more money here. So that's a wrap on today's episode of Washington in Focus Daily for this Friday. Going into what's going to be another beautiful weekend around here. Hopefully, you'll get out and enjoy it. I hope to see you again on Monday. Thanks for watching.